Hi, this is Kevin Griffith, CEO of AmpliFi. Today I want to talk to you about competitive advantages and really how AmpliFi approaches what a competitive advantage is, how do you identify it, how do you invest in it. Competitive advantages are, they're famous, especially if you talk to people like Michael Porter or Warren Buffett. They're really looking at, especially Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, they're trying to find businesses with strong competitive advantages, what they call moats. And there's a simplistic way and there's a more complicated way of talking about competitive advantages. And a simplistic way might be, they're the low cost provider, they have the best service, and that's their competitive advantage. And really what a competitive advantage is how an organization comes together in certain key activities to drive value and really enhance the value proposition the business has for its customers. And so really has for its customers. And so the tool we like to use is Michael Porter's activity map, and it's an old one, but it's a good one. And what that does is we start with the value proposition, and instead of segmenting out the business by department, we really say, what does the business do to deliver this value? Why does a customer choose your business over another, right? And that's really getting down to the heart of this value proposition, which isn't brand. It's not. It's really why somebody buys or chooses your product, your service over another. And what the activity map does is it starts to create relationships between these different activities. It's not just one activity usually that drives this competitive advantage. It's usually how they work together to drive this value proposition, and that's usually very unique. The famous one is Southwest Airlines. What they've done is they identified a consumer that was underserved. They identified ways to service that consumer in a profitable way, in a way that no other airline could really attract that consumer. And if you're interested to see what that looks like, just Google it. It pretty quickly comes up, and it's a very interesting way to look at a business, because what it does is it starts to tease out why CEOs think that their business is unique, because very many businesses are unique, and that's the reason why. It's how the organization works together to deliver this value. That's often sometimes overlooked because these relationships are so connected, they're so interrelated, and it's a really interesting way to look at the business.